Hello everyone and welcome to Murders at Karlov Manor draft. I'm gonna first pick Trostani here, but let's see what other options this pack has. The Eliminator. hmm, I don't know if I'm happy to first pick this thing, but it's a card I would play in most black decks. But first picking a 5-drop that's not like a bomb rare is usually not such a great idea because you can't afford to play that many expensive cards in most decks. I do like the Reckless Detective quite a bit. I think it's a very high quality 2-drop. And then I do like the Extract Confession, the Inside Source. I think those are fine options if the rare was something useless. Um, I would probably take the Detective. But anyway, Trostani requires green and white, but it's very easy to cast in a green and white deck thanks to the hybrid cost. And of course, this ability is just. Oh, the set of abilities is insane. You can target Trostani itself if you don't have other creatures, and you can still, you know, this will be a house even by itself on the battlefield. And now I'm of course going to take the Archdruid's Charm. This is now of course a more heftier mana requirement regarding green. Triple green is a lot, but this will be a good card, mostly thanks to the second ability here, even later in the game. But sometimes you might want to fetch a creature or even a land. The naturalized path is also of course useful when you need that kind of stuff. Anyhow, that is going to be the peak over the other option, which would be Tunnel Tipster. Alright, let's go and take the next one. I would really like to be green-white because Trostani, you can splash this because if you are either playing green or white as your main color, you can splash the other one with just a single pip. But ideally, you will be able to play this on turn 3 to have a very decent sized creature as well. 3 mana 4/4s are not usually what you get for. I mean, 4/4s are not usually what you get at 3 mana from your 3-drop. Anyhow, here, Museum Nightwatch. I like it. The Creeper is okay. You could play the Dogwalker in a green-white deck, but I think I like the Nightwatch the most here. I'm just trying to solidify green into green-white. I don't really want to do splashes with the Archdruid's Charm. I want to have a lot of ways to get the triple green done. And I'm liking what I'm seeing here. I still have a decent white card in the Museum Nightwatch. This mob maybe is not the greatest in a green deck because green creatures tend to have a lot of power, at least more than 2, but the Nightwatch is always nice. But here I have a very good option in the Flourishing Bloomkin too. This is also a way to actually get 2 forests out of my deck to truly enable this thing. And okay, Flotsam, Jetsam, not so great, especially when you don't have access to the Jetsam, which I don't have. And here I could take the sideboard card of Pick Your Poison, but I think I'm taking the land. That will make it easier to get the triple green. You could take the Scene of the Crime. This can produce colored mana if you have untapped creatures you don't mind tapping. But I do think that the Escape Tunnel is the safer pick. You can just get the forest. Or if you have, enough of them, you can get the planes in that case, of course. And now this pack does not have anything that's great for me. I'm not sure if I would be playing they went this way. You do get the glue token from this, but it's quite, tempo-wise bad to use 3 mana at sorcery speed just to get a land. I know I have only 2 white cards, but I think I'm still kind of a semi-forced white now. I'll take that they went this way. I like these blue cards more, of course. This agent is good too, the black 2-drop, but hopefully I get to do my thing here. Now I have some decent black here. There's the Night Drinker Moroi. Also the Stalker isn't bad. Okay. I don't have to play the Nightwatch. I can just splash for the Trostani. I could take the Moroi here, which I like quite a bit, 4/2 flyer. But maybe I'll just take the Scoundrel. I can use this even without access to black. Okay, I'm taking that. And, oh, well, I'm definitely taking now the Kraul Whip Cracker. There's nothing else I can even. I can cast none of these cards if my eventual deck will be just green and white. So I'm taking this, But maybe I was supposed to take the black cards earlier. Anyhow, let's take this for now and see what the rest of the pack is gonna offer. It's pretty clear now that white isn't open at all. And I'll just take the go hound here. I might be green black. Okay. Okay. You know, the puzzle is actually something you could play even without access to hustle, but I'm definitely taking my second copy of a very good 2-drop, Kraul Whip Cracker, and I'm now going to just splash for the white, because Trostani is worth the splash, definitely. I'll take the Interrogators. I'm not sure if I'm going to play it, but I can pick it. And a 2-drop. Yeah, maybe I was supposed to go to... I'm still actually gonna sideboard this in. I was maybe supposed to go to black a little bit earlier, but I think I didn't pass that many amazing black cards. I passed playable ones, but nothing that I'm too sad about, you know, not having right now. This pack doesn't have great white. There's the crowd control warden, which you could play, but I'm with the double whip cracker. I'm definitely going to play black here. And now the question is, am I taking the radical, which is a really good 4-drop, or just a removal spell, because I don't have any removal spells yet. There is a chance this will be coming back to me maybe at pick 9. The radical is really good, of course. I'm gonna take the radical. This is solid removal, definitely, but this can make you win a game. And then when you don't get to do the win a game thing, you can still play a 4-mana 4/4, which is nothing. It is not, you know, bad at all. All right. Now I am splashing for white, so I could consider splashing also things like makeshift binding. But I'm just taking the Nervous Gardener because this allows me to actually still reliably do the charm and have the white splash. And the Nightwatch is, you know, something I can even play this Nightwatch. I'm not so happy about it if I'm just splashing for white, but you can always play this as a 2/2, and maybe if you do have the white mana, then of course you can turn it face up. But the Gardener is the easy pick now, fixing my mana. And Loxodon Eavesdropper. Yeah, of course I'm now seeing some of these decent white cards like the Perimeter Enforcer. I don't have that many detectives though, but yeah, I'm not going to pick any white here. I think with a double whip cracker, this is good enough reason to be running black, and I might get some good blacks in pack 3. Alright, I'll take the Eavesdropper though, that's a nice one always. And Topiary Panther, yes. So I'm not seeing any much black coming into my direction. But it's okay, the Panther is definitely a good card. It also helps with the, if I need another forest for this, or just get the white mana for Trostani or something like that. And we have here double case, sorry, not case, cease and desists. And airtight alibi. Alright. I have only 2 non-creatures. I think I like the alibi here now. Play these on turn 2. They try to block this when I attack. I make this into a 5/4, and then they lose their blocker, and I have now a 5/4 they have to deal with. That seems like a decent, you know, play pattern. But yeah, let's take the Whip Cracker number 3. This is actually fantastic. I really like this. You know, it has to even reach 2 mana 3 to reach, and then sometimes you get to pick a clue token or maybe some other kind of token they might have. It's really good. And Slice from the Shadows. Now it is time to take an actual removal spell. It's not the greatest one, but I really want to have access to some removal, and this, you know, does the job. Let's do it. And okay, I got... Oh, that's a tough one. I really like the hard-hitting question. So mana efficient, especially with my like 2 mana 3 power creatures. But the Green Belt Radical is really good. Oh jeez. I'm taking the Radical. I'm just taking it. That's what I want to do. Alright, here I'll take the Alibi. Number 2. I could actually play 2 Alibis. Maybe not 3. Do I need this thing? Probably not. I need some 2-drops, but I'll take the Vengeful Creeper. It's a nice main deck way to actually deal with you know, artifacts and enchantments. Should I play the automaton or take the trick here? I think I'll just play the automaton. And I should maybe do this. I'm not playing the coroner, so I'll take the uncommon over the common. Pack 3 gives me a drown in the lock. It's a mythic rare. I mean, of course I have a playset of these from it's an uncommon, isn't it? I think it's an uncommon, unless I'm completely wrong, but I'm still gonna collect all these, you know, special arts, so it will actually save me a mythic rare wild card if I took it. Now the actual pick in here is, without a doubt, Extract a Confession. But I'm actually gonna, it is a good card, but I'm actually taking this just to, you know, save me a mythic wild card when I want to have access to a playset of these things. Just to be complete, have a complete card collection on Magic Arena, all the versions of each card. That's my thing. That's what I do. So I picked this, but the actual choice for the, you know, draft deck would have been the edict effect with the collect evidence mode. Here, a Nervous Gardener number 2. I really start getting a very good mana here, so let's do that. And the Cryptex is, by the way, not a very good card. It's very hard to collect evidence 3 times. Collect evidence 5 times to get the actual reward, and it's not that good at the early game to, you know, give you mana accelerating, because you are most interested in the accelerating part early in the game. Anyway, how about a 4th copy of a Kraul Whipcracker? That sounds like a good idea. Let's do it. Okay, I got a hard-hitting question, but there's also a bite down on crime. I think because I have these 3 power creatures that are very cheap, I should take the option that's always 1 mana, and not the one that can be a 2 mana spell, but often is a 4 mana spell. It does give you the +2/+0, but for mana efficiency's sake, I think the hard-hitting question will be better option out of those right now. And here I do like the... well, there's a Moroi now. I'm taking the flyer. Yep, I was actually considering this Basilica Stalker, but I like this more. It's so cheap too. You know, you can play it on turn 4 if you don't care about losing 3, but you can also use 5 mana to do it, you know, painlessly. Gadabout, Inspector, it doesn't add up. Is this a card I would be playing in the main deck? Probably not. This is not that exciting necessarily. It is, you know, a little bit good with the alibi, but I have enough creatures. I'm taking the it doesn't add up, and maybe I will play it as a sideboard option. Okay, am I taking the 3rd alibi, or do I want to have access to the confiscation? I'm not going to play anything in this pack. Maybe I can use this. Okay, let's do the alibi. I don't know if I'm gonna play 3, but I'll pick it anyway. Alright, here I will take the case of the Trampled Garden. I have a pretty easy way to solve this thing, and once you get to solve this, it's a very strong ability. It's easy for me to have creatures with power 8 or greater, total of them. Case of the Gorgon's Kiss. It's really tough to actually solve this. Creature cards need to be put in the graveyard. I know I could pick it because it's in my colors, but I'm actually just taking 20 gems. I don't think the Case of the Gorgon's Kiss is... you have to combine it with some kind of looting or rummaging or something to actually make sure you can make the 3 creature cards being put to graveyard thing work. Alright, here I can just take the Hedge Whisperer. And then 1 more card. Okay. I actually could play the Flotsam Jetsam because I can cast the... you know, I don't have access to blue, but because I'm specifically green-black, I can still cast both parts. The thing about the Flotsam is that it's not your standard do something and then draw a card for 2. You investigate. So this actually costs 4 mana to get the card as well. So the situations when you care about the flotsam is when you care about the self-mill, and I don't think I have enough collect evidence to make it that interesting. And the jetsam is it can be a little bit of a hit or miss. Now they mill 3 cards, then I can choose any card, not just from among the milled cards, but any card in the graveyard, and I can cast that spell. Basically, I get to cast their best spell in the graveyard at 6 mana, and you know it works with permanents such as creatures. I will be if I cast a creature spell, and it will, you know, this will. What is the exact wording? No, I just cast the actual spell. No, it doesn't create any copy or anything. It just, you know, the actual card goes to stack and then resolves as my thing. So if it's a permanent spell, like a creature, it will be a creature on my side of the battlefield. So anyway, I think this is a better thing as a sideboard card when I know that there will be some kind of a chance that there's a 6 mana worth thing in the graveyard. Yeah, okay. Bye-bye. Jetsam, I will cut the Night Watch, I definitely don't need it. I don't think I need the Wind this way either, and I don't think this deck particularly cares about the Go Hound, especially because, you know, 4 of my 2-drops don't even trigger it. Hedge Whisperer, well, it's like a slower thing, it's very strong once you have the opportunity to start doing it, but you don't want to always do it like on turn 4. If you that's assuming you even can collect evidence for, because if the opponent, you know, kills the Whisperer, you wasted a lot of mana for nothing. I guess the same happens if you just play a creature for 4 mana and they kill it, but I'm not convinced I care about that too much. I'm gonna do something now that I'm gonna put all the 3 mana things in the 3 mana slot, because Nervous Gardener, while you can play that too, and if you are desperate for a blocker, you will, it's still most of the time gonna be disguised, and there's even more that applies for the Bloomkin. You really want to be able to turn this face up. It will cost a lot, and sometimes you might have a starting hand with 3 forests, 1 swamp, and the Bloomkin. Then basically what you have is if you don't have to play the swamp before turn 4, you can even go forest, forest, forest on your first 3 turns, and then this will be effectively on your turn 3, it will be a 3/3 that you paid only 2 mana. When you play this on turn 2, it will be a 3/3, but you really want to get the 2 forests to make this a huge thing. So I think I'm gonna do this. I still have here, you know, 6 2-drops I can always play on turn 2, and if I really need to, I have some other options like mostly the Gardeners and the Bloomkin thing in here. Also, the Raki's Scoundrel can be a 4-drop, but can also be a 3-drop, so let's do that. I don't think I need the Interrogators. There's a 5/6 that creates a clue token as an ETB, but I'm not really going to have enough clues to even threaten winning with the poison ability, so I just don't need this kind of a thing, and it doesn't add up. It is, you know, sweet with the Panther, you can cycle it and then bring it back, and of course there might be some, well, I don't have any huge disguise creatures, so I mean, I guess the Vengeful Creeper is the only one, so I can play this disguised and then, you know, may get killed or something, and then I can bring it back as a 5/5 suspected creature, but it's not even that much. These also have, by the way, disguise, and so does the Moroi, but there's also a good chance I will play them as a 4-drop, so I'll leave them into this 4-drop slot right now. But I will cut that it doesn't add up from the main deck, and this leaves me with 25 cards, and I'm gonna choose to cut the Hedge Whisperer from the main deck. I'm not quite sure what is the scenario where I want to side this in, but there might be something that makes me, like if the 5/5 is somehow super important. Yeah, the problem always is that if the opponent kills the Whisperer, then I lose also the creature. I mean, it will, I don't lose the creature, it reverts just back to being a land. And then it's a little bit kind of an unreliable. You can't rely on those 5/5s being around. Anyhow, I have now 24 cards, and now am I going to... I mean, I kind of like the idea of having all these airtight alibis because I don't have removal other than the slice from the shadows, other than this token removal. You know, this also hits creature tokens, of course. I then want to have some other, well, I suppose, yeah, sorry, I was wrong. I have a hard-hitting question and the Archdruid's Charm that also function as removal. But that's still not a lot. So I find this quite, you know, this can be a really necessary card because I cannot remove the opponent's blockers. I have to be able to attack into them. And the airtight alibi will allow me to do that. But I think, okay, I'm thinking that whether I should be playing more than 16 lands, like, you know, 17. But actually what is, I just noticed something that I don't have a lot of black cards, not counting the 2-drops. I mean, out of my 8 black cards, 5 of them are 2-drops. It is kind of an awkward thing, because these don't have any, you know, disguise option. You have to have the black one available. So despite me having a fairly low amount of black spells, I still have to play swamps in the deck. I mean, I think it has to be... I think I can do 7, because the Panther can be easily be the not the 8th one, and of course the Gardeners too. Now these Gardeners are not very good at enabling me a quick whip cracker. These are of course better on turn 2 and 3 when the size matters more. On turn 4 the 3-2 isn't going to be that great anymore, but still I can count the Topiary Panther as being one of my black sources. It at least allows me to play a whip cracker on turn 3 by getting the swamp with the land cycling. So I could cut the case or one of the alibis, but I'm actually gonna play these as the main deck. I'm going to play, because I have basically 16 lands and one Topiary Panther that requires 2 mana to be usable, assuming one of them will be green, but I will have a lot of forests in the deck, I think. So... And I don't have that many expensive things. I know this is 7, of course, but I have also the Gardeners that can get me the extra lands. Well, yeah, this is fine now. I'm going to just put the 1 plains because of the Trostani, and I have, of course, many ways to fetch it. The escape tunnel being 1, this Panther being a second one, and of course the Gardeners being... so that's basically 5 ways to get it, am I not? If I'm not mistaken... I suppose there is also this, and there is. I could even use this to get a plains. But yeah, plains, drawing the plains itself, or the escape tunnel, or these green things to get the plains. This is many enough ways to get it. And then I think I said I want to play 6 swamps. No, I think I said 7, but I am not going to play 7. Not that I realize, because I'm only playing 16 lands. I must have the triple green also. I know if I can use the Nervous Gardener and the Panther and the escape tunnel just to get, you know, forests from the deck. But it feels very wrong to play an even mix of swamps and forests in here. I just have to... Yeah, I mean 6 does... Okay, well now, actually I have the escape tunnel and the swamp. Sorry, yeah. I mean escape tunnel and 6 swamps. That totals 7. That is basically 7 ways to get the whip cracker on turn 2. I assume I will not keep hands without, you know, access to green mana. 7 ways to get the whip cracker on turn 2, and then I can count the Topiary Panther as being an 8th way to get it on turn 3. And then of course on turn 4 I can get the whip cracker using these Gardeners. You know, I play this face down on turn 3, then I can with 1 green mana get the swamp, and I will still have mana to play the whip cracker. So yeah, 6 swamps is going to be the number of them. Alright, after all this analysis, this is my deck. on the play, but this is a really awkward hand. If this was a swamp, this would be such a nice one. And the problem is I don't have the third land, so I cannot necessarily disguise this guy on turn 3 if I miss. I'm on the play, so I have 2 draw steps only to find a land. I think that's too risky here. I need to mulligan this. Okay, that is better. Which of these is the least needed? I'm not going to necessarily need the scoundrel here. I'm not going to miss out. I mean, put the land away. I'd rather take the, this gives me an extra card, and this is gonna be, at least it has the chance to maybe become the big thing. Depends on depending on how much lands I draw. Now this might be the white, but I think because okay, I'm gonna actually do so that I'm gonna play forest now. I know if I get the whip cracker, it's still fine. At least I will be playing it on turn 3. But I wanted to see if I actually, get a swamp naturally, so I could have gotten a a plains with this. But now I have to use one of my ways to get white mana. But of course, because I don't have a Trostani here, I will just get the swamp. Okay, so this requires double black. No, I can't just trade it, of course. I might have to stem the bleeding here, given that the opponent started with the 1 and 2 drops in here. Yeah, I'm gonna actually just trade this away. It's not very mana efficient, but sometimes that's what you have to do. I'm not going to be able to raise them that easily here right now. This kind of counts on me drawing a land, but I suppose I will just play this disguise if I don't draw a land. Or I can do that. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna surveil here now, trying to get the land happen. This thing kills the clue token if they are not gonna use it. Okay, I like it. It's probably that they are going to use mana to develop their board rather than eat the clue token, so I at least can get that card away. And I'm just blocking the face down card. I think there is well, they are not attacking into that, I'm pretty sure now. Well, they are attacking with the inspector. Oh, they did not even attack with that. Anyhow, let's play the slow game. I have actually pretty strong set of cards here, and I'm still at 19. Now this can of course be some massive things, and once they go to 5 mana, I actually don't have the opportunity to block them safely. They can turn them into huge things. But let's see if they have the land drop first. Okay, they had a land drop, but not an untapped one, so they couldn't really represent anything nasty. Okay, these things might actually produce tokens, so I'm happy about the Whipcracker. I'm not happy about still not finding the land, but I have now an airtight alibi, which I might actually want to use here. I feel like I'm gonna use it. I could even attack because I can untap the thing with the alibi. It's just that. Okay, I'm not going to attack with it. I know I could play this face down, but I believe it's better to have mana up now. Okay, just a dog walker that I can live with. I can even get rid of one of the dogs. I can trade with the dog walker using the automaton. Now they have 6 mana though, but they only have that. Okay, so this is gonna grow the inspector. That's fair. And how are they gonna attack? Very conservative attacks. Okay, well, that's fine. Do this. Finally the land. So I think when this attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on a target creature you can't. Okay. Yeah, I need to kind of trade with that thing. And the eavesdropper does not help me with that. And I'd rather not trade my reach guy that can block the phantom. So I'm just gonna play the green belt radical. I'm far away from 7 mana regardless, and I have the case of the trampled guardian, which I can use to, you know, get some advantage here still. But now of course I'm pretty vulnerable. If they have a removal spell, I will be in a bit of a trouble. Okay, they do, so that's that. And they get to... yeah, that's game over now. But of course, I mean, that was their first removal spell, so it's not such a surprise. It's just the same that I was missing land drops, so I couldn't develop my own board here. And now, of course, this is... yeah, can I afford to not block that thing? I think I have to. They will be getting +1/+0 on every creature, though. Yeah, that's actually... I can still trade with the Vigilante even if it has that, so maybe this makes sense, I'm not sure. Another one of those. It doesn't actually help. I really just wanted to get the land and then even play the case of the trampled guardian here. But I can only do one thing now, and that's gonna be bad. And it's the least mana efficient thing to play the whip cracker, which could kill this one. So I think I just have to do this now. And remember, they do have 2 face down creatures, so I think I'm pretty much dead in here. And I still am at only 4 mana here, which is a bit shame. Okay, they get an additional boost on anyone. Yeah, I mean the face down cards are the actual problem. They are able to attack with everything now, and I'm going to just die here. They did not even do this. That means that one of these is a 5 mana. Okay, it was... alright, it was the worst kind of for this situation, the crowd control warden. Alright, well, there was no chance for me in that game. They have a... I'm supposed... where did this thing come from? It's not a cloaked one. What the heck? I am supposed to see this, because only if the opponent cloaks a thing with the cloak ability, then you don't have to show that, because cloak works on any cards. But I should see this. I don't know what that is now. I mean, they played a face down card from their hand. Those get revealed after the game. Of course, in digital, there's no cheating, but still the digital rules use the same one as the physical game. I don't know why. I should actually see this. Well, it doesn't matter. Whatever. I actually think that all my things are as good as they can be for this particular matchup. So I'll just hope I draw better. that's not better. That is better. And as much as I like this alibi, yeah, let's get rid of it. Do they have the novice inspector again? Nope. Okay, that's good news because I can get the. I need one more either green or white source. Well, I have my only white source here, but you know the gardener will get me the second green, so I can cast the Trostani. Will we be trading or okay? I don't like that they have this kind of good. And this is actually the kind of spot where I really wanted to, you know, have this. That's the reason I played 3 of these. This was the exact situation that I discussed about. But now I'm not gonna attack into that. There's no point. I might even be able to blow it up with the creeper, although I think that's quite unlikely of a scenario. Now I'm happy to just attack with this and hope they block with the automaton. They did not. And that does mean that I'm gonna turn this thing face up. Get me a forest specifically. And then I could have this as a 5/5. I want to still see if this is gonna get something. Some token. Next turn the Trostani will be played. Well, I mean, let's do this. They might have a target for this now. I just made this into a 6 mana thing though. But you have to remember that the creeper is only 5 mana when you play it face up, and disguising takes a bunch of more. Okay, I'm gonna do this block. If they have a trick, they have a trick. Eavesdropper, I can get that thing with my whip cracker. I won't be playing the Trostani this turn though, but I'd rather... I'd still rather do that. Okay, that's gonna make the automaton into a bigger one, but I can still trade with it, so it's no big deal. I'm 1 mana actually... If I draw an untapped land, I can just eat the automaton. I'm actually gonna wait for that. I can take 3 here. And that's what happened. So I can now attack with this. If they double block, that's actually fine to me. This will actually create them some advantage. They will play a creature and this will attack and it will get a permanent counter, you know, the creature I mean. But I also don't want them to... Yeah, they're not going to... If I pass the turn like this, they are not going to attack into this. I'm doing this. I'm at least dealing 5 to them. I could play the Panther too, now that they make no blocks whatsoever. Actually, I like that idea slightly more. They might still have like an enchantment-based removal spell on the Panther, and that means I can eat it instead of the automaton. Yeah, exactly, makeshift binding. Now that means I can actually trade with the automaton. Do they play a 2-power creature before attacks? Yes, they do. So this is gonna become a 3/3 now. But I actually have the Whipcracker as a blocker on the Eavesdropper, so this is good. I'm totally happy with this outcome here. Let's trade here and let's trade here. And now I can just even... I can actually just make a surprise. This does enter. Yeah. I'm gonna do this, and I think I am not going to deal 5. I could deal 5 now, but I won't be doing that. Because this should enter untapped, and I can eat a thing from there for free. Unless they get multiple pumps. That's not going to matter. I'm not really that interested in my graveyard, so they can just do that. And I should be in a rather good shape, especially because of the Trust Honey giving me... I can give Vigilance, because I have to use the white mana, so I cannot give double strike this turn. But Vigilance is good, so let's give Vigilance. I'm gonna give the Vigilance to this. I know I could play the Whipcracker, but I'm still waiting. I'd rather give Vigilance on this guy. Although the Whipcracker can block the flyer, but I suppose they are not going to have +5 on it. I hope they don't have +5 on it somehow. With just 2 cards. Well, that is closer. Okay, just don't have anything else. They did not. So now they will be... Yeah, because of the Trampler they are going to lose no matter what. Now I attack. They have to block the 6 power creature, and then even when they do, I still get to block trample over 2 damage, and this will be... And of course I will have the double strike up too. I guess there's one thing about having only one planes is that I can never use this ability twice, you know, the double strike giving ability, but I think I'm good enough with just giving one creature double strike, and maybe someone else can get the death, or even the same creature can get death touch or vigilance. Because I don't have any way to produce actual white mana. I can only get white mana, but I don't have any lands that can produce for any color, for instance. I have barely any sideboard cards, at least for this matchup. I'm not interested in any of my options. So I will simply ship the same deck. Okay. Keep this. Finally a 7 card hand. And no shortage of my Whipcrackers here either. Okay, I'm happy to trade with that. That might become a 3-3. I can block it. No, it becomes a 4-4. Well, that's how good this thing is. It is actually ridiculous, but... Well, not ridiculous, it's just an extremely good one. Now, what am I doing in here? That is a good question. I know I have the alibi here, but I'm not going to do that right now. I'm just playing this face down. I'm never gonna lose the 3 life given that I already took a chunk of damage. I just hope they don't get the other double trigger turn now. That would be really annoying. If their Guardian attacks for 4 on turn 3 and on turn 4 while they're on the play, that's so miserable. Okay. Oh, that's a token, by the way. I didn't realize it. Sorry. Let's not block it then. I think I still wanted to do this because I have a double, you know, Whipcrackers now. But it was definitely something I should have considered, that I can kill this thing for free. Now. Would they make blocks? I think I even don't mind the Moroi trading with the Guardian if they block with that. I don't think they're gonna block with the Tracker. Because I'm thinking about double attacks right now. And then playing my Whip Crackers, killing the 2-2. And then I have this alibi and these things ready. Yeah. I think they are gonna take this damage here, but I don't mind if they make any kind of blocks. So let's use my quadruple Whip Cracker deck. So that in my top 19 cards, sorry, top 11 cards, I have 3 out of 4 of these Whip Crackers. That's gonna give trigger to the Guardian. Is it gonna get another? No, it's actually not going to. Alright, well they can kill only one of my things. But this is really nasty that they had this double spell turn. You know, I can only trade with one of these now, and it's going to be... I mean, I can save more damage. This will be a flyer though. Every creature of theirs will be +1/+0 going forward. Oh, actually that has some pretty... I mean, it's actually gonna make these so much worse, because the things that are naturally 2 power creatures will actually be 3 power creatures when they enter the battlefield, so I don't actually need to face this Guardian that many times anymore. I mean, I need to face it, but you know, its triggers won't happen that often, so I'm gonna trade with the flyer, take only this much damage right now. And now this is not a bad one. I'm going to... I could actually attack for 7 here now, and then use my alibi. Huh. That is risky, but... The other option is of course to just attack with the face down card, but I think I'm gonna do that. Just do this, and if they block, I will use the alibi, but if they don't, I'll just flip it regardless. It's double black to turn face up. I won't lose any life when I do it like this. And I will have the alibi now. If they have like a removal on the Whip Cracker, and if they don't, I can still untap the Moroi. It will be a 6/4, and maybe eat something for free. So I can now trade with one thing and eat something with the Moroi, or can I... This doesn't give trample. No, only the solved version gives trample, so can I now win? That's also a very good question. And the answer is no, I cannot. 6 in the air and then a couple of counters they will be... I guess they are forced to block with the face down card. Yeah, I'm just thinking if I want to actually trade with 2 of these things or just take the... I mean, taking 5 is actually not so great either. So I'm gonna play the slow game. I will make it like this now. I will block here. I will block here. And now I have a 2-turn clock with the Airside alibi. You know, being look, I can still do this. Oh, that does mean though, that's actually nasty. Yeah, if I play this face down, I don't have mana for the alibi. That said, yeah, because I'm facing a bunch of damage, this might even turn into a huge thing. Okay, I'm gonna play this as a 5/5. If they have a kill on the Moroi, then they have a kill on the Moroi. I still have a lethal 5/5 at least. And I know I could have played this as a face down creature, then if they use the, you know, the thing that exiles the enchantment, then I could kill it. But I actually don't even want this to enter back, because if this gets exiled and with the kind of enchantment that says that as long as the enchantment is on the battlefield, it remains exiled, but this would return to the battlefield and I would lose 3 life, which wouldn't be nice. Now, because my alibi is here, this might be a thing that flies, but I'm not going to do anything pre-combat. I can only cast 1 spell this turn. I'm not going to waste my opportunity to use the second alibi here. So they can do it. Granite Witness there. And. Oh. They may tap or untap. Now, I of course can just make them jump block both of the. If they have nothing for green, yeah, I'm gonna go for it. I make them make double jumps. And then I don't think they're gonna just like that deal, you know, deal 8 damage without any board presence. Hasty creatures would get +1/+0, but not gonna be hasters for these. Tester rare, green rare, that's a 4/4, would deal 5 with this thing. But yeah, as you can see, the alibis work, but I think the Kraul Whipcrackers, I got to eat 1/2/2 token for free, and then these were mana efficient, these had reach, I was able to block the 3/2 flyer. These are fantastic. I am on the draw, opponent kept 7. I like my 2 drops, but I keep it. I can play this on turn 3, this on turn 4, and of course I can also, you know, draw things that make me change my game plan. But let's see if they have a 2 drop here now. Well, they do, but it's exactly the kind that doesn't. That means that I'm not playing the Gardener. I'm gonna wait for it, because I might still need either the 3rd Forest for the Charm or the Plains for Trostani. So this will give me that. Another green-white opponent, okay. Well, there is the Charm. So now I'm actually not sure. I want to. Yeah, I'm playing this thing again because I think I'm just willing to trade. Now the kind of nastiest thing this can be, it can be the 3/2 that dies into a 2/2 token. But with 4 mana they cannot make this into like a 4/4 or something like that. So I think I'm going to make the blocks in here if they attack. And I just hope it's not that one particular thing. It might be a nervous Gardener, but what can I do about it? Let's go and make the block, and I'm happy with this outcome no matter what this is. And it was the Crocodile, which I don't have to worry about anymore. Okay, they have this thing which is really good, but I can deal with it using the Archdruid's Charm. So now I will just okay, so I could do this and have a forest for the next turn, but actually that would not give me such a great turn. This doesn't do much. It does some minor amount of draining, but 7 mana is when this becomes an actual problem. I actually like the idea to just play the Eavesdropper for now. Just do that now. Oh, that's a really good card. So they get to cloak 2 cards from the top 5, and if they are creatures, of course, cloaking works so that you can turn them face up by paying their mana cost, and if they are creatures with the disguise, you can also choose to use the disguise cost to turn them face up. And I will of course get double drains from that thing. Yeah, the Strider was really important, giving them the black mana for that thing there. Okay, but there's a Slice from the Shadows, one of my few actual removal spells. Now, I am going to do like this. This will get the vigilance. I can attack for 4. There is the forest for my charm anyway. So now of course I will be considering if I want to use mana, leave mana up for the alibi, or just face down the nervous gardener, or use the slice from the shadows to kill one of those things. Now they might not even be discussed. If they didn't see 2 creatures in the top 5, this might not be anything. So these are Joker cards. They might not be creatures, and if they are creatures, they can be anything. So I cannot deduct much about which they will turn into and what amount of mana it takes. So this is now, of course, a pivotal turn here. This will be a 5/5 on their turn. So I can just leave this as a blocker. And then I can use the slice from the shadow. Yeah, I don't think I need the gardener now that I have a land drop for the next turn regardless. So what I'm doing here is I am going to just pass the turn and see what happens and hope there's not gonna be anything too crazy. Okay, well that is going to happen, and this has an exile target artifact or enchantment thing, but yeah, I'm gonna respond by hoping this is not gonna be getting any counter response. I'm gonna -2/-2 this thing. This thing can't be countered, so the ward isn't gonna matter, but they might still have a way to save it. Maybe it's a 1/3, they can turn face up, maybe they have a pump spell in their hand. If that's the case, I will be in huge trouble. And it seems they are gonna have a response to this, yep. So that's absolutely horrible. I guess I can still, block it, so they shouldn't attack with it. I don't mind if they attack with it. It might be, just a land, for example, so they don't mind the trade, but if they attack, they actually wouldn't have gotten this solved, but now this case is solved. There is a clue which I can take care of, but how do I do this turn now? They will be getting, whenever they attack, they get the +1/+1 counter on an attacking creature. I think I'm still gonna have to do this and use the charm on a later turn. And now I have the option to either have an airtight alibi up or... Yeah, I think I'm it's just a desperate situation that I'm gonna have to hope that the alibi is gonna do its work. I can make the Whipcracker into 5/4 reach, which would eat the vampire if they don't give the counter to the vampire. That still doesn't solve the problem that they have these things here, which can be anything. And they are still getting a +1/+1 counter on somewhere. Okay, that happened in pre-combat. I'm not sure what that means. Maybe this ability can do something. Well... They are not attacking with these guys, so now sadly the vampire is gonna get the... Yeah, the vampire is sadly going to get the... Okay, no, yes. Just give the counter on anyone else than the vampire. That's the point. I think the vampire is pretty... Yeah, well, I don't know. Who is going to get that? Okay, they're gonna give it to that, so I can just... It also has Trumble. I can... Let's see. Because I do fear I have to use the Archdruid's charm to deal with the case. So, and I need to deal with the Wisp Drinker Vampire too. I was thinking about blocking 2 of these and then using the... Okay, I'm actually going to do it like this. See what they are gonna do first. I will save the Whip Cracker here then. I will try to do it, of course. Now, if they have still a thing, either one of these 2 mana disguise or the card in hand that costs 2, if that's gonna be good for them, then I wasn't gonna win this game no matter what. Yeah, I wasn't gonna... At least the good news is they still lost a creature, and it was a good one. Culverit Ambusher, and the other one was Scoundrel, so they actually found 2 disguise creatures with the cloaking ability. Because you can actually turn this thing face up at 4 mana when this has been cloaked. Now, that barely matters because I'm still hugely... I'm in huge trouble. But the only thing I have going on for me is this. And then I hope that I'm not dead. I hope the 6/5 can hold both of the ground creatures at bay, and then the charm has to kill the vampire. But no, that's that. I'm taking 7 here when they get a counter. Right, so that was a tough one. But of course the tough part in the turn was the hide in plain sight, which was, you know, their turn 4 play. They were on the play even. And then of course both of my tricks were met by their own tricks. So of course that's a little risky. But I don't think this sideboard just offers much for me. So I'm gonna use the same deck, and I have to be more careful with the alibis. Oh, come on. What's with these hands? Because again, this hand is great if I could keep all of them, but now I have to lose resources here. But it's easy, the automaton goes away, but I still don't like it. Also, I have the triple green thing here, so I'm going to get the forest instead of the plains. Okay, but that's actually something I can attack into. Okay, I got this thing back because I shuffled my deck after putting it to the bottom. Well, I'm not going to wait if they have, tokens, because this 2/1 doesn't do anything against the 1/3. So I'd rather hope that they have like a disguise creature, and then I can... Oh, well, this is why I'm playing those alibis. Now, if they do block here, this is fantastic for me. This is how I can get a really good board presence here. So even if they kill this somehow, they probably won't have mana to add more stuff to the board, so this would be able to still attack for 3. But we'll see. Okay, well, that is a good one again. So in both games they are playing this on turn 4, but now I'm on the play and I have this crazy good start, which, and value from the alibi. These are not tokens, so they are not going to get dealt with. I'm going to attack into them. I would really hope to have the charm, because while I cannot target these things, this still gives a +1/+1 counter, so I could, well, like if they double block this guy, I could have made it into a 6/5, dealing damage to the consultant or something like that. But now that that's not an option, I'm still going to pressure them as much as I can. And I also should consider maybe... But they still take 5 there. I'm actually thinking about cycling this thing. Make sure I do have the charm mana up. I'm going to cycle it. And then I play the automaton actually. And I'm gonna get the forest because now I have the charm. And I get to surveil into something. And that's not necessary anymore. I suspect the whipcracker is gonna get killed here. But I still have one more coming up, although it won't be a 5-4. And this opponent has those +2/+2 tricks of their own. But if I could untap, especially with an extra land. Now I know I did mill this, but mill this, but of course there's no point drawing a forest here. But it is true that if I got to untap, the charm would... Okay, well, that's a good one too, but it's mostly an offensive thing. You know, I could pay the ward if I had 5 mana, but... this will kill one of those tokens. So they are gonna jump block. This doesn't give trample or anything. They are gonna jump block the whipcracker most likely. We'll see what happens. Oh, they're gonna do that. Well, that is exactly... Okay, so I can't save... No, I can save my own guy. Yes, I can. Because if I kill the consultant or any of these tokens, they only get dealt 4 damage, and it will be a bigger creature. So, and then they're gonna make this into a big one, but it has to attack, and then I can have the whipcracker to deal with it. So it doesn't matter in which order I put the guys. I'll just do this exact thing, and they are not left with much. What was, by the way, it was a perimeter enforcer. Yeah, the first one was a perimeter enforcer, the cloaked one, and this was a crocodile. Now, do they have more removal? This only becomes a big thing if they attack with it. Of course, I'm not blocking. It will be a 4/4 death toucher now until end of turn, and then of course it will remain as a 4/4, but I can use one of my whipcrackers to deal with it. But in the meanwhile, they have a stalker that they have to use just for... Well, they don't have to jump block, and I don't think they are going to jump block, so I'm not gonna attack with the automaton. They would just block it for free. But do I want it to... Okay, they are playing black, so there is a chance they have the card that says that look at your target opponent's hand and exile a card from them. That there's a white-black card that does that. But I'm thinking I'm actually not going to let them know that this 4/4 won't be alive. So I'm going to do this now, and I will get my planes with this thing. And if they have like the kind of card that... Yeah, I'm going to do it... Is there a reason I would want to have more mana on the... Because do I want to have 6 mana on the next turn? I might draw a 4 mana card and play the whipcracker, so... I might actually also get another black card, although I have only a few black cards. But I'm gonna make my land drop regardless, so I don't have to make a decision about what land to fetch, but it does make sense to also consider fetching another black, because I will be needing 1 black. But now if they have the 2 mana 1/1 that says I exile a card, well then I would just of course fetch a land and exile that. But they had no such thing. This has a lot of evidence to work with. So if I draw a Trostani, I guess it's... I don't have many black cards in the deck, so this is fine. Now, they know about this, so I might as well play it, and now I will get rid of their token, and I totally expect them to have the +2/+2 thing there. Well, I'm still attacking with everything. They can't actually double block the whipcracker this way. And these are fairly, insignificant. I drew a good card here, by the way. Another 5/5 here. So they have to jump the whip. Let's say they have nothing. They have to jump the whip cracker and eat the other one of these two and go to 1. But of course, that leaves them in a very bad spot. They did concede now. This tells me one thing. Because they weren't gonna die. They were gonna go to 1. And now that they conceded before drawing, that makes it pretty certain that they do not have a Wrath effect in their deck. There's both a 4 mana white Wrath and a 5 mana black Wrath in this format. But I don't think they have those. Not that it's gonna matter too much. Yeah, okay. Well, I don't think I like the Hedge Whisperer that much. Mostly because I like all my cards in the deck. I haven't actually seen this yet in action. I don't want to cut anything. That's the thing. So this is it. This is the deck. So I have now a good hand here, and they mulligan. Well, they do play 3 colors, like in a more even way than I. I just splash for 1 card, and I have a lot of fixing for that. Although I have the challenging triple green card in the deck too. But they play white, green, and black. They are now at 6, deciding. Okay, so they kept 6 and play the Surveilland. And I have no shortage of these lovely 3/2s. Apparently not. Okay. So I don't need any more the triple green. I'm just gonna block here. Although they will get evidence, but this thing has lifelink. So is it better? I have no way to deal with this yet. Evidence 3 is not there yet. Well, they at least mulliganed into a hand that has no color issues. I think they will be having detectives quite a bit, so let's make the block. This will get the pumps anyway. I don't like the fact they get the evidence there, but oh well. So I have the triple green for the, for the charm if I happen to draw it. So this can freely get me the planes, especially now that I have the second swamp for the Moroi as well. I'm gonna play the Moroi. Did I make a mistake with my land drop? I think I did. I was supposed to play a swamp now. Although I don't have a... it would only matter if I draw a swamp on the next turn, and I don't have a lot of them in the deck. Because this is gonna be... Now, there is also the world where I will take the 3 life loss here. I just don't like it. I'm not gonna do that. I don't have to be immediately, turning it face up. We'll see what happens. But this can do some actual work if they have some evidence there to come up with, but we'll see. Okay, the Phantom is fine. Okay. That's a bomb too. Oof. So this is now bad. They're gonna be able to collect evidence for this. I need one of my, pump spells or one of the removal spells. Either will work. I need something. So if I do attack with this, they might just block with the Phantom. And this is a 4/2 no matter what. They don't have any tokens yet. I could just do the double whip cracker, of course. That's probably what I'm gonna do here. I hope they don't have a token immediately on the next turn. They might have the killer among us. But Okay, they're gonna collect the evidence. At least when they collect the evidence for the hero, it's, you know, less. It eats the evidence from the sample collector. And this thing sadly has vigilance. All right, so so if they are going to have the +2/+2 trick, yeah, double blocking in here won't even work. That's actually pretty annoying. I won't be winning this game if I can't kill the hero, by the way, because this will give the other creatures indestructible and combat will be impossible for me from that point. I think I have to just do this. They can use their trick there. At least one of these trades will happen. Okay, well, this thing has death touch. That is useful for sure. So I kind of want to play this disguised though. It's very slow. Yeah, I think with the 10th district hero, this will be really tough because they will make this into a 5/5 and this will have indestructible. And I don't actually have a good block on this right on this turn. Unless I do. Unless I do it like this. No, I was wrong. I can't. It's too late now. I was actually, if I played the untapped forest, I could have made this into a 4/2 and still, you know, have this around. But I of course just totally missed what I was supposed to do there. Now I'm taking 7 damage because they will make this into 5/5, and I can't trade with it. This won't have it indestructible by itself. But this will be able to attack freely because it will have indestructible. And they can choose to do this mid-combat. They don't have to do it pre-combat or anything. So I cannot block the Soul Collector unless this collect evidence happens. I don't think they're gonna do that, but it seems like they are actually gonna rather make that happen. So now they are further away from the collect evidence for that guy. But they're still gonna have another. I mean, I just can't. I mean, I can double block this, and if I knew they have nothing, they cannot make it indestructible anymore. I would happily trade it with either of these things. Going to 7 is also bad. Okay, I'm gonna lose to pump spells now. I'm willing to do this. Just like in game 1. Okay, they actually have nothing and my Moroi dies. This is still something I can maybe survive. Maybe. Oh, not a single game where they didn't draw this thing. It wasn't a turn 4 now, but it's still it's really tough. Because they, of course, I mean, I need to find a kill spell on the hero right now. There's no other way. Because this will, you know, this has again the collect evidence 4. That's my final whip cracker. All 3 of them are here right now. But that's not, sadly, the solution here. I mean, at this point, my only hope is that they found only lands there. I need a surprise effect from here, so I'm gonna take a lot of damage. I think I will jump block the hero, but then I will take at least 4 here. Yeah. I have a few removal options on the hero, but I might be at a too low life total. Also, they have what drawn like four lands and all spells after that. That's of course a very good situation to be in as well. Okay, so I have to take this damage. They will be indestructible, so I'm not gonna jump those. Take the 5 here and another shot at finding a removal spell. That's not a removal spell. Well, I can still find one. I guess I'm not gonna attack because this is important to be able to turn face up. So, and it costs 6 6 mana. This is not cloaked or anything. So let's just. I mean, if I can somehow win this game, I would be very surprised. But it's possible if I find a removal spell on the hero. And both my bite spell and both that and the actual black kill spells are going to be enough. Okay, they are not attacking with the hero, but sadly, any block I make here is going to be nonsense. Because these won't die, they will be indestructible. This is an insane bomb. If you don't deal with this and the opponent has other creatures, it's just horrible. But I can't keep taking this damage, so I'm gonna block. Let's see what are the cloaked creatures. This is a cloaked one and this is a cloaked one. This is not a cloaked. This is an actual creature with disguise. So I suppose if they use 3 mana on this might actually just die. So let's do this and let's do this. But I mean, when I flip this face up, one of my things will survive. So let's do this and see what happens. Because target creature gains indestructible here. When I turn it face up. So basically I will lose only 1, but because this will be indestructible, I'm not getting anything killed. I am forcing them to use the hero now, but I'm losing the gardener. Because this will be a 3/3, it won't die to that 2 damage here. That's that. And do they still have something? I don't know, but this will be indestructible. Too bad all their guys are too. Mileva the Stalwart. Now I need the removal for the Mileva. Then it's just game over if I don't find one. And I do draw it immediately. Sadly though, I might still lose. At least I do have the alibi as well. Well, I mean, there's not much to say. Let's do this and hope that whatever these things are, they are not too amazing. At least the Death Toucher kills anything. So there is that. Like this. And I hope this cloaked creature won't be dealing 5, but I mean, it's just a gamble anyway. So that's that. Okay. So in order to kill this, I need to use my Death Toucher, so let's do this. This here kills Mileva. This is actually fantastic if this is gonna work. This saves this guy. And I take 2 and they lose their thing and they have 1 cloaked thing. Alright, alright. I am in the game. I am in the game. Crocodile. Alright, I also need to, win quickly. So let's first see what I surveil into. Or do I have to mill a land? Yep. So I don't know about my next draw. But I have to win quickly. Although maybe I can leave the Death Toucher to block this thing. I think it's safer still. Yeah, I'll do it like this. That was the last possible moment when I had to draw something like this. I had other options too, but... Okay. Ooh, green belt radical. Oh dear. This could actually be quite nice. Let's do it so that I'm going to attack with the Death Toucher. Because even if this is a big thing, I will be able to trade with it. As long as it's not like the Stomper, that 6-5, you know. Okay, that's dead. Now this can do a little bit of an overrun. Okay, they have 4 mana, they can turn it. But it can be even a bad crit. It can be like a 2-drop. It might not be a big thing. Maybe they hit their pocket of lands right now. Well, the game has been actually pretty nice now that I got to deal with the 10th District hero. That's not great though. Yeah, that was... and I did draw only a land myself. Ooh, I was really hoping here. This is not a lethal attack, sadly. Can I afford to... No, I cannot afford to. A shame, such a shame. I cannot attack at all. I can give you this +1/+1 counter and trample. This is a 4/4, so that's what, 5, 6, +3. That's 14, even if they don't make any blocks. I needed this to be a spell. But now any of these can become a 4/4, so I need to block all the tokens or I just die. So let's do that. I have the 7 mana to turn the face down creature. Yeah, if this has 3 power or more. Oh, don't say you drew also removal on my guys. Yeah, I had the 2 back-to-back lands in here. I don't know why I don't see this. I know it was a milled one. Anyhow, so the swamp and the forest in the spot where I actually needed to get something good. But yeah, here there's no... I'm just doing it randomly like this. I don't know what they named, so... Hoping that the 2/2 isn't gonna kill me. That thing has Death Touch also, so I will lose my creature no matter what. And they can now turn this thing face up. Yeah, that is that. Oh boy. And that was a cloaked one. That was a cloaked one. So they hit a good one there. That was so close. It was a good game, definitely. But I just... Yeah, the fact they drew the killer among us, because this was gonna get them value, but it wasn't gonna win the game for them. And I was gonna deal a huge chunk of damage with the radical if I was in a spot where I can actually do an attack. But oh well. Alright, first time I see the Bloomkin here. Actually, it is the first time I see the Repeat Offender too. Not that it's like anything to write home about. This was their turn 2. So they just drew the Maverick. They would have definitely kept it. I mean, played it on turn 1 otherwise. So no 2-drop and no surveils. Or they surveilled, maybe they changed the order or something, but nothing goes to graveyard. Okay, well, the Offender is not the greatest against this thing, but I'm still gonna try to get the mana with the Bloomkin. It will also be a lot bigger creature in that case. But yeah, the offender, I can make it suspected, of course. And then I can attack into the Maverick. But okay. But it's not like that fantastic. Okay, they actually are gonna have a blocker for it anyway. That's a good one. You rarely see this thing actually played face up. But now they did that. And the question is, should I actually suspect this anyway? I can play this, but actually, I'm not sure if I wanna even disguise this. Maybe I can, because once I get to 5 mana, I will also get 2 additional lands. But they only have 2 damage. I'm actually doing this. Otherwise, my 2-drop doesn't do anything. They will have an easy time, of course, blocking this by leaving one of these to block. But at least that means that they are not attacking with them. Sure. Okay. Let's lose to a combination of opponent having rares and me not being able to draw lands. Yeah, okay. This can't block anymore, so let's not do anything like that. It doesn't even matter here what to do. I don't think I can beat the Ferox start when I miss my land drops here. I need to collect evidence 4 in order to use one of my removal spells. You know, this would be a removal spell on it, but I need to collect the evidence, so this needs to die. I mean, I can just block with it to do it, but I still need a creature with enough power to make this a lethal spell. Yeah, it was a little bit different when I was expecting to take 2 damage on turn 4, but I took 6 damage instead. That is not great. So apparently no tokens from them. I need to play the Whipcracker because the Whipcracker is an actual way to, you know, with combination of the charm to kill this Ferox. Okay, I think I kept the 3-lander. I just didn't draw any lands. Which wouldn't be such a big deal because they don't have the other creatures they have don't have so much power, but the Ferox hasty attacker of course is a big problem here. Yeah, this offender can attack, but they can block it easily with the Maverick and the Snoop. I don't want to even give them the option to use this. So let's do this, and I honestly can't imagine a scenario. I was thinking in the previous match in the game 3 that once I get to kill the Mileva, I have a chance, and that happened. I had a chance. They just top decked better than me in the follow-up turns. But here, I don't think there's a scenario where I can win this game. But there might still be one, so I'm not conceding, but it seems very unlikely that I can beat this, even if this is like nonsense of some kind. But this is gonna be good no matter what. Even if it's just another fairy Snoop, it's gonna be good. And it can be something much more dangerous than that. Now I have the option to double block the Ferox. And I might have to do it. They choose this instead. Yeah, I don't know. It seems to me that this will be something that costs 5 mana to turn face up, and it will be rather horrible. But I guess the other things I can try to deal with. Let's do this. double block in here and see what happens. Of course, any removal or pump spell will make it miserable, but I would be losing to such cards no matter what. They did not turn this phase up, but I still have to deal with the flyer, for which I do have a reach guy. And I guess this menace guy is... Aha, okay. A killer among us. Alright, let's go to the next game. I'm not beating this board. Alright. I don't think there's anything to change. I'll just need to, again, draw better. That's okay, even though no 2-drop. But I can at least, again hope to draw a land to be able to play most of my stuff here. That is a 2-drop. Should my game plan include playing it or not? Because it will be a 2-2 on the next turn at least. And then I can use the case of the trampled garden to pump it and something. Okay, I'm gonna make an exception. I'm gonna do this because I have, these options for next turn regardless. And I wonder if I'm gonna... With double radical, maybe one of them is a face down creature. One of them is gonna be a 4-drop, quite likely. Do they have an island naturally on turn 3? Yes, they do. I know I play 16 lands, but I also have the land cycler at 2. I have 2 of these gardeners, so I have ways to... If I have access to 3 mana, I have 3 other cards that can give me lands, and maybe even the charm, although having access to 3 mana doesn't exactly make this castable. So I can make it so that I'll just start with the case here. I'm gonna do the case now, and on the next turn I can flip it, assuming my things will survive. On the next turn I can, even solve the case by playing, if nothing else, a face down creature, if my creatures don't get dealt with. Well, they didn't get dealt with, so I will be solving this case. If I draw a forest, should I attack with this? Well, I did not draw a forest, so let's not... Oh, but this thing says, when this enters Ortho is turned face up, target creature gains indestructible, so I actually can attack. I can keep the pressure up. They might jump block with this, but I don't care. The main point is that I will get to solve this no matter what. Yeah, I can attack for 3 here. No, it doesn't actually help. It doesn't give death touch. What am I thinking? It only gives indestructible. They will just block with this. Alright, well, let's play the radical then. Let's save this for later. No attacks, and now I have these things solved. I hope this is not the one that can kill an enchantment. I hope they're just reading the case and not targeting it with something. Well, they have now 5 mana, so this could be anything. So there is a vengeful creeper, but they chose to play it face up. So is this another vengeful creeper? Who knows? Okay, so I of course don't even have the thrust anymore. Well, this requires actually a white sauce, so... Well, if I attack with something, it will get a... I can put a counter on an attacking creature. It will also get trample. So yeah, let's do this and make the radical indestructible this turn. So I can attack for 5 in here. It will also trample, so jump blocking won't be that effective. And then I can of course attack with the scoundrel because it does have death touch, and death touch and trample even it has a very nice interaction. So now they got the 6th land, so we'll see if this is gonna be a creeper number 2. Well, I guess I got 3 counters out of this, so it's not a total lost case if I lose it now. If I just would go to 7 mana, of course the radical would allow me to win the game. This, by the way, is able to get me a land. So if I somehow am at 6 mana with this still in my hand, and I have a board presence for the radical, I could just even get for the land fetching. But that's a long way from happening. Okay, Crocodile just has a 6 mana 5/5. That is acceptable. Especially if I would be able to draw a forest to make this into a 4/4. Well, that didn't happen, but something else did. They have, of course, these huge creatures in here. I am going to give the counter to the radical, perhaps. If I give it to this, it will get trample, and I will get to trample more damage. Well, okay, let's do that then. And I think I will use the slice from the shadows. Well, I will definitely use it so that I will save a creature here. Okay, well, I can't save the radical anymore, so I can just save this other guy. I don't have to put anything else than x minus x equals 1 here, because trample and death touch means that 3 damage will be trampled to the opponent. So let's make this happen, and I still have my death toucher, and I will just play this now. So this is actually a lethal attacker against only 1 blocker. Because it will trample, because if I can give it is a counter, of course. And then it will be trampling 4 over 1 blocker. So they have to block it with 2, but they do have the Go Hound here, of course, to make it easier. And then I just need to actually start drawing something that allows me to cast my things. Eavesdropper there, still up there, okay. So as long as they have the 5, no, that was one of the important draws. As long as they have the 5/5 there, it's making it so that my attacks with the other creatures are not that good. But once this is dealt with, well, I might actually just win the game here. So am I supposed to attack with everything just in case? Because this will be a 7/7 trample death touch. They need what? They need 4 blockers on it. So this is just a guaranteed victory if I attack with everything. Okay, let's do that. Because I can make this into a 7-7 thanks to the alibi. Yep, this is guaranteed victory now. And they must realize they need 2 blockers on this. I don't even need to show them the alibi if they don't put 2 blockers there. They might miss out the fact that it has both Trample and Death Touch, or maybe they just don't know how that works. Because I think they might not. Alright, this will be Trampling 4 over. That's that. Yeah, there's nothing I can do about their 4-4 Death Toucher other than, playing my own 4-4. I can always block it. And I just don't think that I need to play 17 lands, because the Panther works if I have just 2, and the Gardeners work if I have 3. That's basically making me go from 16 to basically 19 mana sources. That's gonna be good enough. Okay, I can keep this. Maybe the automaton helps me find some lands. Or maybe I just naturally draw a bunch of forests for the Bloomkin and for the charm here. Well, that seems to be out of question. Okay. Swamp is better than no land. Yes, I believe I have time to do that because the opponent hasn't done anything yet. They're holding priority. What is the thing they're holding? They draw a card thing? Flotsam, okay. Mill a couple of lands and, well, that doesn't matter. So let's do this. And let's hope they are not going to block it. I know I can actually, kill this clue, but I'd rather... Yeah, maybe I was supposed to do that. But I don't think... Well, I guess if they have just 2 mana worth of plays, then they can crack the clue, but we'll see. Okay, that wasn't the case, so... This is okay. I'm going to get my forest here. And I would really like to also have the Bloom King face down now. But I'm gonna crack the clue while I still... crack in my own way while I still can. So, of course, now it's in the hold. I can double block this Radical with these 2 power creatures. If they have tricks, I don't need to care about it. The Bloom King will be... I can disguise this on the next turn and then play one of the 2 drops. And on the following turn I can turn it face up if it's alive. Basilica Stalker, which I can block, but I don't have enough power to make it. Okay. I kind of wanted to have the charm here now. This 4-4 actually is holding back quite nicely. Well... I have to sadly take a couple of hits from that thing. Yeah, it's actually funny that I have, 3 swamps, while I have more forests in the deck. Because this would be a good turn to attack with the Whip Cracker. If they block, I can make this into a 4-3, kill the Stalker or whatever, but none of that now matters. Also, if I had one of my alibis, hey, imagine how good that would be. Anyway, let's just... I guess I'll just play this for now and this now. I have to take a few hits from the Stalker and give them the surveil value. It's not great, but it's what it is. I waited with this because I'm not going to double block the Stalker and they might still have some clues or whatever for me to kill. And I also saw there they have the 5 mana enchantment that makes 3 tokens. But yeah, I don't like the fact that they get to... I guess the fact they get to gain life is not a big deal in here, but the surveil is an actual valuable trigger, and of course they are dealing damage to me in the meanwhile. And they are no longer tapped out, so I really wanted to be able to play the charm on the previous turn to make it safer. There is the... So if I now guess correctly, they don't even get to use this, but of course it's only 1 out of 3, so... Not so great. Okay. No charm or anything here. Yeah, what to do here? This costs 5 mana. Well, I'd rather kill the 4/4 once they have attacked, so I'm not going to do that right now. I am just going to make this into a bigger creature, and I sadly won't be doing anything else. Now the question is, how do I block these guys? Now I'm gonna make one guess. This guy will be actually a 4/4 because I can fetch a forest with this, and then one of these forests will go to battlefield. And then I think I'm gonna use this gardener to get my plains, because I might still find my 1 white card. But they are holding 3 cards still. This has been like a long match, but I guess there's a lot to think about for both of us. So they get to have a 4/4 Death Toucher attacker here, but... they are doing just that, which is fine, because I am gonna use my mana here regardless, so... Let's take the 3 here, no blocks. This 4/4 has done an incredible job to keep my guys at bay, but... I didn't get my alibi there. So they did not go for any attacks. I guess they were afraid of my open mana. But now I will be getting some kind of an initiative. Seized and desist. Okay, eavesdropper. Okay, there is... Well, no. This has better uses, and they still have 2 mana to crack the clue, so... Okay, turn this thing face up. Okay, I got my 5/5. It is time to start attacking, but... what this is 8 mana total. The druid charm is... So I wonder how I'm supposed to do it. I think I'm going to attack with the 5/5. And let's see, maybe they do something weird. I think they should just take the damage, but maybe they will do something different, and my choices will be affected by their blocks, but I assume this is just 5 damage to them. And maybe they have the destroyed target attacking creature. Although I think this might not even mean that they need white. Maybe they just play a forest that surveils them. So I could actually double block the Stalker here now with if I played the Whipcracker. So this is total of 8 mana. Yeah, I'm gonna do it, and I'm just gonna guess that they chose Goblin for that thing. I'd rather them have the... I mean, they can just crack this in response, so there's no point killing that. Because now I can do the Nervous Gardener here too. And then I have mana up for the Archdruid's Charm. But the main idea I wanted to do it like this is that now I can double block the Stalker with the Whipcrackers, and if they have something, I can still have the Charm to, you know, make it so that it's not a miserable situation for me. And this could get me a forest to make the Bloom King a bit bigger, but I might want to do the plains just in case I draw the Trostani. Okay, I can not yet collect evidence, but I don't think that's even such a problematic card. It is if they have a trick in their hand, but we will see. But I can of course just double block that with my Gardener and the Automaton and not, care about it at all. Even if they... Okay, well now they're gonna go for the fun business. So let's go to blockers and do this here. And I will go do this in here, and sadly I don't have that many other blocks in here. There's like a 50-50, well, no, there's actually, the Goblin might have already been, the chosen creature. But even if it isn't, there's a 50-50 chance I get to just trade here. I'm gonna take my chances and I'm gonna block here. And then I'm going to, I guess, take the 7. Well, I have the Archdruid's Charm here, so let's not be too foolish in here. Can I save something that's otherwise about to die? I guess I can. I'll do it like this. I'm taking 7 if this goes. But we will see what other things will happen here. I have the charm, of course. So that thing is going to... do I want to kill that? It will be a 4-4, so if I give it this one counter, it won't help. Guess I'll have to let that happen. And now, okay, they didn't have anything else, so now I have my final chance to kill the Radical, for instance. I can still kill, I could still kill that. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna do this. I need to do something. I'm going to actually kill this guy, because this allows me to save my creature. I will take more damage, but this way I can, I have a better board state in here. And I have the Panther still. Now, okay, that is just a 2-1. They do get the Surveil here, but let's see if they keep that. Okay, they milled a land they don't need. That was a fantastic draw. I am going to I'm gonna play the Panther no matter what. I'm gonna play my land also. I'll do this. It would be useful to pump the Bloomkin even more, but let's do it like this. I'm gonna attack for 4, and the 5/5 is there to block, and the other stuff, of course. I just want to play a little bit safer here. Yeah, I don't know why I would do. Come on, don't need that. I wanna represent the green trick, of course. So unless they get to somehow deal the 40, it could be a trample trick or something, and of course this isn't gonna be very good right now with only 1 X available, but maybe if I can now untap. Okay, they are going to collect evidence. Extract the confession means I have to sack the 6/5. That happens. But they still don't have a great attack because my 5/5 here. Yeah, unless they have another. Yeah, if they have like another removal spell, that would be horrible. But if not, this is not a good attack for them. And I can actually start pumping the repeat offender into a legitimate threat. So if they now make the attack, I'll block the 4/4 and I will probably. Well, no, I don't know how they would have done it. Okay, this is a good clock now as well. I can do the attack with the whip cracker. I don't care if they block with the eavesdropper, that's totally fine for me. Now that I have the Moro in here. Okay, it doesn't seem like they have anything. So I'm gonna turn this thing, of course, face up. And am I going to start attacking? Wow, they conceded before. I mean, I guess they knew their deck doesn't have anything that gives them a fast victory here in this situation. Because now I would have just maybe not pumped, not make this suspected. Because I want to be able to block with it. I would have just taken the turn, attack with the 5/5 and the 4/2. They would have to double block this. And then I still have the slice from the shadows and these blockers up. That would have been my play. Alright, that was a nasty match, which I lost. I liked the game 3, which I ended up losing because I had a very difficult situation that I was facing. I cleared that situation, but then it was a top deck war basically. With me being at life total disadvantage, and the opponent won that top deck war, but it was still a fine game. Yeah, this deck I think is good, but a little bit maybe unfocused. For example, the green belt radicals maybe are just more like a 4-mana 4/4s in this deck than something I can play around or play into this ability that gives me a like mass pump victory. And my mana was a little bit stretched with me playing just 16 lands, having the triple green card and the white splash here. But I think it was still the correct decision given that I had the fixing available here. And I think the Earthside Alibis, they were reasonable things to run even at 3 copies because they kind of replace removal spells, which I didn't have too many of. I had basically 3 removal spells. Yeah, the charm is the third one. So I like the deck, and At least I got the 2 match wins, even though the third match seemed to be a little bit desperate at times, but everything went fine in the third match in the end. Let's claim the prize here, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching, and bye bye.